Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today I am sorting through the cold hardy trees that I had winterizing against the garage on top of some bark mulch. I don't know how successful I was. Some of the pines look a little crispy, and I don't know if it's just because they're young pines and they're actually dead. There are some candles. I'm not sure if they're forming or what, but I'd say I had about 50% of them green and 50% at least a little brown. So, geez, I was going to repot these before the winter. I decided not to. I wanted to put them into a forest planting like this pot here. And so I'm going to be getting to that this week. But today we are doing the long overdue Arborvitae, American Arborvitae. There's 3 of them. I was kind of growing like a hedge style because I just always pictured it, like a smaller version of what people divide their property lines with for additional privacy. And so I thought it was cool to grow them all uniformly. But now the pot is literally falling apart. And that's just soil right there. And every spot this wooden thing is done. So I'm going to get these into one of these pots as well. I have 2 of them. And I'm going to prune down the height. And it looks like we got lots of little dead stuff in there that probably just didn't get any light against the garage this winter. And we're going to fix that. So we're going to prune those up. And then I used the bonsai benches over here to display these trees, and then my area over here, those benches and over there are going to be for, my deciduous and some of my hardier tropicals, black locusts, birches, maples, things like that. So I'm pretty happy with the way the display turned out. Everything has a little more room than last year, and I'm still going to have to wire them to the benches. I have the actual benches wired to the deck, these plastic slotted pieces, but now some of these pots are a little lighter, and the draft coming off of the pond, the wind gusts, they can get intense. So yeah, lots going on here at the ranch. I'm just gonna be chipping away at it over this next week or so. It's kind of a funny time for weather. You get some days that are up in the 70s, and then you can get, some days dropping down to 25, literally back-to-back days. So that's end of March and early April for us here in Northwest Connecticut. So, American Arborvitae, pruning and repotting. That's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so I really didn't have a clue what to expect because these were all pretty much hunkered down together this winter. So as I pulled them out, I noticed, okay, some trees look like they did better than others. But really, when you grow trees from seed, and they're, pines and evergreens like that, it's so hard to know what to do and what's going to happen depending on what you do. Like some of the things I read for full-size Connecticut white and red pines is, their needles will turn yellow and fall off. Maybe not all of them, but I'm thinking, well, since it's just a single stalk, just a couple-year-old pine, maybe they are still alive. So I guess we'll address that another day. In better news, these Arborvitae grew really tall and strong. Let's see, I need something to throw the shavings into. I piled up a lot of mulch and different things to keep these things insulated through the winter, so it doesn't surprise me. It's kind of a mess. Let me get my garbage. I'll just set all the debris aside. I have the planting sitting up in the repotting mat that Laura got me. It's been great for doing smaller repottings indoors or not making a total mess out here on the deck. Oh, I'm surprised how much dead needles are down in here. And they're Arborvitae needles for the most part. I think there might have been like a little mouse house in here or something. So how's everybody doing? How's spring treating you? I feel like I was laying up at night last night trying to fall asleep, and I just kept thinking about all the work that I have to do in the tree farm and to get, you know, these trees prepped, and then, oh, am I going to take the like my maples and stuff outside yet? So I checked the weather report, and there's just a couple of days where it says it's going to dip down low, so I got to wait on that. I don't know, sometimes you just feel like, oh my gosh, I have way too much bonsai stuff to do, and you never want to like have to do it. You want to do it. And then there's other times I have like nothing to do, and I'm like dying to prune or repot, you know? Wow, it looks like, no, I think that's a low branch. I was gonna say maybe I got another baby here, but now I don't. So these were nursery stock. They were a lot smaller than this, and like I said, I haven't really done anything with them. So typically I grow from seed, but at the time, a few years ago, I had a friend working at a nursery, and they would have an end of the year family giveaway for like the stuff in the warehouses they had at Chuck. So I would pretend to be family and go lift all the stuff I possibly could to the truck before they realized that I wasn't supposed to be there. So I'm loving these new tools of mine, the Fiskars. Great deal. You know my rooster Carl, he obviously is craving attention and won't shut up. Anyways, these and the little tree saw that I got, really cool. Really sharp, really good quality for the price. You see some of the bonsai tools online, it's just ridiculous. So there's some just dead branches down here. Just gonna kind of get in, take a little look, see what we got. I really didn't touch these at all, so I have like a bunch of multi-trunks. Now that I have more experience and kind of know what I want, they're probably gonna get a decently hard pruning today to set them up for the future. In the beginning, it was like, okay, I want to grow trees. I just want to keep them alive. Obviously, now I just want to keep them alive too, but got to do some work. This pot's exploding. There's just a whole lot of dead stuff. Franny's home for spring break. I asked her if she wanted to do bonsai with me, and she decided to paint her nails with Laura, so they're inside doing that. So I don't think they're going to do a fresh nail job and then come help me prune and plant things. Not that I need help, but you know. How did your trees do this year? Winterizing and such. There was a lot of weeks in a row, probably 6 weeks in a row, where we had the ground totally covered in at least, you know, I'd say 8 inches of snow and ice. I'm actually surprised the lawn is even showing signs of greening up already. Wow, this is just a cluster. Let's see if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah. It's actually a little thinner down below than I was expecting after I cleared out all that dead stuff. I wonder if these are like way more than 3 trees and they just came in 3 different pots. Because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 trunks it's looking at coming down here. I don't know if I planted it so low that the split actually occurs below the surface of the soil, but I guess we'll see soon enough. Okay, so I guess we got to pick a height, right? So, I mean, they are pretty, but it's just I'm not gonna have them in, you know, an even smaller pot than this and have them growing that large. It just don't work. So, why don't we just go for it? I'll probably have this tree be the smallest, this one be the second smallest, and have it kind of come to a little peak because this guy's a little more off to this way, so you get like that asymmetry. I'm just taking out like the dominant branch. I have no interest in rooting these from a cutting, although I believe I've heard you can do that before. I'm going to take this one down even further. There we go. Well, this is kind of the way you want these, you know, for the design that I was going for, like a hedge style, privacy fence style, multi-trunks, growth all the way from the bottom to the top. You know, I'm not trying to do like a big canopy raised up and kind of, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, umbrella out, you know what I mean, broom style. I want these natural hedge style. And then who knows what I'll do in the future. Just got some branches growing back across everything down here. Yeah. She likes some volunteers that just came up from the soil. I think with these, I have recently, I'd say about 2 weeks ago, I did a badass mixture for some bonsai soil. But I think for these, I'm going to make it more topsoil and perlite, and I have some recycled from other plantings that I changed over to the more bonsai soil, you know, volcanic rocks and such. These have done really well in topsoil, so I'm going to continue with that. Just taking out pieces that are fugly. Kind of one of those things, you take out one branch, it exposes another area that you want to correct, and before you know it, you have the desired effect. I'd love to set them up nice and early this spring and just let them grow throughout the entire season, so this time next year, since I'm doing a repot and a prune, kind of let it recover, you know. So these are really low branches, and they're not getting that much growth and energy because this thing just reaches for the sun. Apparently it grew really tall, skinny. It's past spring, summer, fall. I guess I would consider this like a landscape pruning, as if I was, you know, doing landscape work and a client needed their annual pruning. That's how I'm leaving this style. And I like all styles of trees. I don't need to like wire trees up and have all these bendy bonsais, even though I do like a gnarly trunk. You know, I just like to mix it up. I love growing stuff. Until I find out if these are multiple or multiple trunk singular tree, I'm not going to take out any pieces like this. You know what I mean? Actually, I wouldn't want to do that anyways. Okay. Oh, wow. Look how bright green that is. Yeah. Really did well. Almost looks fake. It's like bluish green. Beauty. Okay. The words of the bonsai boat. Bloody beauty. That did not do his accent justice there. But if you haven't seen that guy, he is absolute riot. And he has amazing trees. I'm not going to give all the credit to Australia being hot and sunny longer and all that, but definitely it works for him and his trees. He's got some really nice olives and native trees. Okay, that opened it up a little bit. I'm not going to take any more out of here. Any more live stuff, that is. Get this dead stuff out the way. Actually, the one's just small and growing right towards you. All right. Shaping up. The natural selection on this tree is amazing. I mean, every branch that didn't really deserve to succeed or survive pretty much stayed thin and died off. All like the ones that are growing towards the inside of the tree and cross branching and everything else. That's cool. This one's a little low. Take that up to All right, let me check the time on this. I only have about, we're at 14 and a half minutes. And then I think my intro is like 2.5. So about 17 minutes. I only get 28 minutes of filming to fit on my phone to then be able to edit it properly and upload. I've gotten so many times where I'm at like 96% complete and then it says upload failed. Check your phone's memory, and it's like, And I'm not even exaggerating. Literally, it'll be 96% and say it has 9 seconds left and it'll run out of memory. It's so frustrating. So, what I'll probably do is probably finish this pruning up and then I'll put it on a time lapse for the repotting. And I am not doing a hard root pruning. My goal is, I'm hoping that it's not too knotted up down there. My goal is to kind of like slip it right into this other pot. Since I'm really doing its first pruning up top, don't want to have to do a rough root chop at the same time. Just working my way around. Just a small one. It's significant. Well, I guess I ended up raising the canopy. Not a ton, but it's nice seeing these woody trunks. I think it gives it a nice appearance. Kind of look in. My eyes go right to the middle, like you're walking into a group of trees in the woods, and then eyes go up. Yes, nice. Okay. Lots of little branches just keep appearing, either sickly or dead. Okay. I think I've got to leave this. Yeah. That one though. I think these might be better suited for larger branches and such. I have to keep like reapplying pressure here to get some of these smaller branches to prune. What do we think, guys? I think I kind of like that. Yeah. Thumbs up. Boom, boom. This is my apex in the middle. I'll take that. I'm going to take everything down just a tiny bit more. Yeah. All right, that's more fitting. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Cool. Take a look ski. So you see what I mean? Multiple trunks. I don't know if there are trees just planted really closely together. To be honest, I was so new at growing stuff and transplanting and repotting and everything. I just kind of left everything. I didn't take a look at roots or how many trees there were. So, in theory, yeah, I think some of them are separate trees. But I kind of like the staggering. Got a couple of nice ones here. Little group. It kind of works for me. I'm liking it. Getting some nice thicker trunks there. All right, time for the time-lapse repot. All right, y'all. So I don't know if I bumped into the camera or the wind just turned it or what, but I don't even know when that time lapse kind of turned and didn't show you anything. Probably when I was shaking these into place, but man, I am so digging these. Nice, natural looking, not too heavily pruned. I gotta get that out of there. See, there's just some branches like that. Took a little bit of time, but it was fun. There we go. And of course, nothing goes perfectly as planned. So the pot was just a little too slender for me to kind of wiggle the majority of the root system in there. So you see I kind of went around the edges, had to take off some roots, but there were a ton of them. So I'm not too worried about this bad boy recovering. It's a good time of year to do it. Against some days, you know, mainly in the 50s and 60s. So primo. So I got a lot more to show y'all here at the ranch, y'all. It's not going to happen today. But we'll get these pines planted. I want to give you an update on the trees that are indoors because the growth is incredible. Like a lot of them are getting to 3-4 years old now. So they're really starting to look like trees and not just kick off like one tiny little branch. So I'm totally psyched. Hopefully you're having fun. Hopefully it's almost spring for y'all too. And I'll see you soon. Take care, y'all. Cheers.